Hello everyone, it's Alida right here. Probably know a thing or two about Professor and need more information about it? Okay, you are in the right place because in this video I'm gonna tell you all things about Professor and Professorship. So, without any further ado, let's get to the topic. Definition. According to Merriam-Webster, Professor is a faculty member of the highest academic rank at an institution of higher education that teaches or professes special knowledge of an art, sport, or occupation requiring skill. So, a professor is an accomplished and recognized academic. They almost always have a PhD, perform research in their discipline, and supervise graduate students. Beyond holding the proper academic title, universities in many countries also give notable artists, athletes, and foreign dignitaries the title honorary professor, even if these persons don't have the academic qualification typically necessary for professorship and they don't take up professional studies. However, such professors usually don't undertake academic work for the granting institution. In general, the title professor is strictly used for academic positions rather than for those holding it on honorary basis. Okay, we already know about professor, so let's figure out what is professorship. Professorship is the position or office of the principal lecturer or teacher in a field of learning at a university or college. That's it about the definition. When did the title professor first start to be used? Professorship started in medieval Europe. The title professor seems to have evolved. It wasn't a question of people sitting around a table and deciding to create a university post that would be known as a professorship. According to Oxford English Dictionary, the title professor evolved from being a synonym of magister or doctor, denoting someone qualified to teach, to imply distinction within a gradually developing hierarchy of teachers. So in detail, the term professor was first used in the late 4th century to mean one who teach a branch of knowledge. The word comes from Old French professeur and directly from the Latin professor, means person who professes to be an expert in some art or science, teacher of highest rank. How did professorships come about? According to Maclean's and Online Etymology Dictionary, the medieval European universities suffered from financial-related teaching staff shortage. It was often difficult to persuade scholars to teach because there was little gain for them. So, efforts were stepped out to provide stipends to pay teachers based on their education. How to get the title professor? The best advice for how to get the title professor in the end is preparation, planning, and persistence. The first career steps to take is get it with a PhD. In order to become a professor, you will need to obtain a PhD in your field of specialization first. And in order to get a PhD, you need a master's and undergraduate degree. Second, get it with teaching experience. As a professor, one of your main responsibilities will be educating students, and the more you have it, the better. You can gain that experience from being teaching assistants, but for those unable to secure a position as a teaching assistant, all is not lost. Any form of experience in which you are leading and instructing a group of students is useful. For example, you may organize and lead group tutoring sessions to begin building your teaching experience, and so on. Because a teaching statement is required, it is critical to gain practical teaching experience well before applying for that position. The last but not least, get it by publishing. Having a number of academic papers published will help you stand out from the crowd. Being published is particularly important if you are hoping to secure a tenure-track position. It means getting the title of professor requires publishing early and as often as possible. Okay, as long as you have these three essential things, there is no minimum age to apply for professor. Get to know the ranks of professor. In the United States and Indonesia, there are 3 ranks of professor: assistant professor, associate professor, and full professor. In other countries, the rankings may be different, and sometimes similar terms in other countries have different meanings. Assistant professors. An assistant professor is a beginning level professor. They are also called tenure track professors, and a college or university hires them with the hopes that they will earn tenure. An assistant professor usually has a 6 or 7 year contract, and in the 5th year, they apply for tenure. And then associate professors. An associate professor is a mid-level professor. Associate professors continue their responsibility as a professor with the goal of expanding their research and building their body of work. After approximately 6 or 7 years, associate professors have the option of applying for promotion to full professor. And then the last is full professors. A full professor is a senior level professor. They continue their responsibilities as professor with the goal of expanding their research and building their body of work even further. Full professors also often take a leadership role in the department and may be involved in important departmental and extra-departmental administrative tasks. When does a professor retire? Okay, it depends on the country, but in Indonesia, according to the Indonesia Institute of Science, LIPI, the retirement limit for a professor is 65 years old and can be extended until the age of 70. What are professor tasks? Professors are qualified experts in their field who generally perform the following tasks: managing teaching, research, and publication in their departments, presenting lectures and seminars in their specialties, performing, leading, and publishing advanced original research in peer-reviewed journals in their fields, providing community service, including consulting functions, or providing expert commentary on TV or radio news or maybe public affairs programs, and then mentoring graduate students in their academic training, mentoring more junior academic staff, conducting administrative or managerial functions such as deans, heads of departments, research center, and more. And then last but not least, assessing students in their fields of expertise. Other professional responsibilities are determined by the institutions, its history, protocols, location or country, and then time. In case you want to know some professors, here I insert some of famous professors in the world, but I'm pretty sure you already know it. Here it is: Stephen Hawking, Albert Einstein, and Indonesian pride, Baharudin Yusuf Habibie. And of course, there's a lot more. Okay, that's all the things you have to know about professor and professorships. I hope that this video will be very useful for us. And if you have any information, another information about professor, just comment down below. Thank you for watching this video until the very end, and bye!